Good afternoon, Haruna. Yes, you can write if you want to. Good afternoon, all. I hope you guys have been enjoying your stay at home. Don't worry, very soon we'll get back to you on when to resume. Haruna, you can write, and as many others that wish to write. So the topic before us today is agriculture stock exchange or stock exchange in agriculture. I have some objectives listed out here. I have three. These are things I want you to achieve at the end of this lesson. The first one here is you should be able to list some examples of crops traded on the floor of agricultural stock exchange. Then you should be able to list people that are involved in stock exchange, and you should know at least three importance of stock exchange in agriculture. Before I continue, can I have one or two people to write out or remind us of our last topic treated in school? Just type it out for me. I'm waiting. Packaging. Jamal, are you sure? Packaging. Miriam Agbonoga, you are correct. Farm records, and precisely computer-aided farm records. Yes, packaging was our first topic this term. Farm records was the last topic treated. Bookkeeping, computer-aided records. Very good. That's good. So let's go to today's topic, stock exchange in agriculture. What do we mean by stock exchange? Stock exchange can be defined as an act of selling stocks or selling and buying of stocks and shares publicly. I'm sure some of you might have heard of people saying they bought shares some years back. What exactly are shares, or what are these things that they told us they've bought? Then the one stock exchange, that's the avenue where people buy and sell shares. You can't see these shares by yourself. You cannot see it physically. It is not something you can hold on to or things you can see. But it's just a way, or it is an avenue whereby companies generate more funds to expand their business or to expand their operations. So also in agriculture, we've been encouraged to sell shares to the public so as to expand our farming businesses. Then in Nigeria, we have a particular body, regulatory body, that is in charge of stock exchange here, and it is called SEC, S-E-C, Securities and Exchange Commission. This body was established in the year 1979. SEC, S-E-C, which means Securities and Exchange Commission. It was established in the year 1979. It is the regulatory body that sees to shares that have been sold and bought in the country. Agriculture in stock exchange can be defined as the act of giving out available agricultural produce in exchange for other goods of equal value. You sell out farm produce to get other things that will be used or that will be needed on the farm, but they must all be of the same value. The place where stocks and shares are bought and sold is called the capital market or the stock market. The capital market or the stock market. Then the word stocks, these are company shares, and we also refer to them in business studies or in business education as financial instruments. We also call them securities. They are like money that are being tied down by people. Stocks, the same thing as securities, and same thing as shares. In agriculture, what do we sell? Basically, we sell cash crops. These are the crops that are being traded on the floor of the stock market. Cash crops. Examples of cash crops are cocoa, kola nut, rubber, cotton, timber, even oil palm. I will repeat myself. Examples of cash crops are cocoa beans, kola nut, cotton, rubber, timber, and so on and so forth. Why do we have to sell cash crops? The reason why we present cash crops on the floor of agricultural stock exchange is because we can get huge amounts of money from them compared to food crops. And these cash crops can also be exported to other countries without being getting spoiled, unlike food crops. Then you get huge returns from cash crops compared to food crops. So that's the reason why they are being termed cash crops, that is cash money in huge amounts that you get from them after they are being sold or they are being traded on the floor of the stock exchange. On this slide, you can see the picture of kola nuts there, dried kola nuts that are prepared to be exported or to be sold on the floor of stock exchange. Then the next slide shows us the picture of cotton. Cotton. This is also a cash crop. Then we also have a picture of cocoa pods. These are some of the cocoa farmers. After harvesting of their cocoa pods, you can see them. You cut the cocoa pods to extract the cocoa beans. Please, can you take about this create problem? Okay, I'll go back to that, Faisal, but just hold on. So this is the picture of cocoa farmers with their cocoa pods on the floor. Some of them have them in their hands and they've cut open some of the pods. After cutting open, they extract the beans because it is the beans that they will take to the market or to the stock exchange floor to sell. Here you can also see some people spreading out the cocoa beans. They are carrying out grading and as well they are drying. When you extract the cocoa beans from the pod, you sun dry them and you also grade them. What do I mean by grading? You remove the bad or the spoilt ones, then the good ones you grade them rather. So that's the meaning of grading and sun drying. But you have to sun dry before you can grade. If you don't sun dry your cocoa beans, they will get spoiled, and that will be a loss to you as a farmer. So they must be sun dried before you put them in bags or sacks for sale or for export. Also, okay, this is the picture of kola nuts, different species. You have the red kola nut species, you have the white species of kola nuts. Another example of cash crop is the timber. Timber is an example of cash crop that is also being traded on the floor of the stock exchange. Next is people that are being involved in stock exchange. If you're talking of stock exchange, it is not ghosts that operate there. We have human beings that are being involved. The first category are the buyers of securities, that is buyers of shares or buyers of stocks. They go there to buy. And we also have organizations that help people to buy. In case the buyer is busy or the buyer cannot make out time to go to the stock exchange market, he can get the service of some reputable organizations that are involved in buying of securities to help him purchase. And they will sample or find out before they make their final decision on the type of company to buy shares from. Then the second group of people involved in stock exchange is we have the sellers of securities. These are people that have already bought shares in the past and they want to dispose them off, or organizations that help people to sell off their shares or their stocks. Then the Third category and the last people involved are the representatives of buyers and sellers. They are not buying for themselves, but they are duly registered companies that have been authorized to participate in stock exchange. For buyers and sellers of securities, in these categories, you can have individuals that want to buy for themselves, and you can as well have organizations helping people to buy. But for representative of buyers and sellers, they are majorly representatives of buyers and sellers. They want to help people to sell, or they want to help people to buy. Importance of stock exchange in agriculture. In the past, there was nothing like stock exchange in agriculture, but lately it has been introduced. Stock exchange has been introduced. But in the last 10 or 12 years, stock exchange the price has fallen. But that does not discourage agriculture in going to stock exchange. The first importance is that it helps to raise capital for the expansion of agro-based industries. It helps to raise capital for the expansion of agro-based industries. What does this mean? You want to increase the size of your farmland, then you supply goods, farm produce that could be sold for you to get more money. Then the second one is that it gives investors opportunity to invest in agro-based industries. If people know that when they go into farming or they go into agro-based industries, they will have ready-made market for their goods, for their farm produce. They will be willing to invest in agriculture. Unlike in the past when farmers will harvest their crops and most of the crops will get rotten on the farm because there's no good road or because people are not willing to buy. No, the reverse is the case now. Once you know you can take your farm produce to the stock market to sell, people are now interested. Many people are now willing to go into farming as a business. Then the number 3 importance is that it encourages contract farming. What do I mean by contract farming? It's a process whereby a company gives loan to farmers to help them produce some farm products which they use as raw materials. For example, let's take Cadbury. We all know Cadbury produces Bonvita. So Cadbury can go to Ondo State or go to Edo State and give money to some farmers to help them cultivate cocoa pods or cocoa beans. If, for example, they give them 10 million naira to produce cocoa beans for them as a loan, once the farmers harvest those cocoa beans, they must give them to Cadbury. It must be the same value of the cash or the money that was given to them. That's the meaning of contract farming. Company getting farmers to cultivate their raw materials for them, and after harvesting, the farmer will sell the raw materials, the produce to the company in order to pay back the loan. So, importance of stock exchange in agriculture is that it encourages contract farming. So the farmers will not just be idle all through the year as a result of lack of money. They have people, they have companies that back them up in terms of finances. Why doing this? It provides employment opportunities for people, because if a farmer is supplying a multinational company like Cadbury or Nestle raw materials, he cannot do it alone. He will need to employ many people to work for him on the farm. By so doing, he's providing employment opportunities for people around him, and also is increasing the standard of living of people in his community. Then the last point is that it ensures increase in food production, as many people will be encouraged to invest in agriculture. Yes, there will be no shortage of food because everybody is encouraged to invest in agriculture. Even if you are not selling, at least as a peasant farmer, you have your own food that you produce. You have crops you produce to provide food for you in your family. And if you are going into it as a commercial farmer as well, you still have food that you eat in your family and you have excess to sell to get more money. Okay. If some of you are not cooperating, you will be removed, because I can see some charts here. I don't expect this from you. Terminal class, you are writing exams in the next 4 or 5 months. So this should be the class that should concentrate more and not write rubbish on this platform. Aruna, I've answered you. You can write if your note is with you. Six is bad. Say that, Ahmed. Yes, you can write if you want to. Then Okwe Susi said, take it back. Samad Abdul Salam, take it back to where? Which of the slides? Thirteen. All right. Slide 13 is on. Aroluwa, slide 13 is on now. On slide 13, you have people that are involved in stock exchange. And I said we have three categories of people. These are buyers of securities or buyers of shares. The second group, sellers of shares. And the third group is representatives of the buyers and sellers. We have it there. Yes, Shakira, you'll get the note in school to write, but if you are with your notes, you can write as well. Khadija Ibrahim, you can write. Wada, take it back to where? Type the slide you want me to take to show to you right now. Slide 2. Okay, Agbanoga, slide 2. And your last slide 1. You know what? I'll start from the first slide, so everybody should just flow along. Let's see that we can screenshot there. Let me start from the first slide. The note is short, so it is something you can write. The topic itself is very, very short. So you can write your notes from here. This is the first slide. The first slide is on definition of stock exchange. So forget the Turkish words you have on top. It is definition of stock exchange. Can we also write on YouTube? That's your choice. Well, I have the first slide on now. So let's just start from there so that everybody can benefit. Can I change the slide now? Slide 2. Yes, in slide 2, you have the definition of stock exchange in agriculture. And you also have the note on capital stock market and on the definition of securities or stocks. I said agriculture in stock exchange can be defined as the act of giving out available agricultural produce in exchange for other goods of equal value. You have crops like cocoa beans. You can give them out in exchange for insecticides, chemicals that you will use on your farm to boost your farming operation. That's the meaning of stock exchange. Anything you produce, you can give them out in exchange for other things that will be needful or that will be useful for you as a farmer on the farm. But they should be of equal monetary value. Okay, Razak, if you are not with your notes, you can jot some points down or you screenshot, just like some people have been doing. screenshot so that you can have something to read, to get yourself busy with before you resume back to school. Okay, I've screen grabbed it. All right, should I move forward? Next slide. All right. On the next slide, you have the picture of kola nuts as an example of cash crops that are being traded on the floor of agricultural stock exchange. And it is not only kola nut that you can sell or you can export. We have some other examples of cash crops like cocoa beans, rubber, timber, cotton. Do you give us? Yes, by the grace of God, when we get back to school, we'll still give you the note. Should I go to the next slide? Yes. For what? The heading is Agriculture in Stock Exchange. That's the topic. This is the next slide. Picture of cotton plants as an example of cash crops that are being sold or traded on the floor. After that, you have the slide of cocoa pods harvested and with the farmers, cocoa farmers by the side. After that, you have cocoa beans being sun-dried and inspected. Then we also have pictures of kola nut, different species of kola nut, the white species or white variety and the brown or red variety of kola nut. All these are cash crops that are being traded in stock exchange. Yes, this is a picture of forest where we get timbers from or logs of wood from. Yes, this is another picture of timber being sawn, cut into smaller pieces. Cocoa farmers working on their cocoa pods. Slide 13 is on people involved in stock exchange. Should I change the slide? All right. Okay. Can you answer me? Samad Owuda, what's your question? Please type your question here. After people involved in stock exchange, we have the next slide on the importance of exchange in agriculture. Okay, maybe they will give us notes. Yes, I've answered that already. I said when you get back to school, we'll still give you the notes to copy. But if you're not doing anything right now, you can as well write this note because this note is very, very short. Okay, Susie, take it back to which of the slides? Slide 13. All right. Okay, Susie, this slide 13 on. All right. Slide 14 now. Importance of stock exchange. Slide 14 is on the importance of, yes, is on. Okay. Slide 13. This slide 13. Rasak. Next slide. Now, please re-explain. Unknown to me. Explain which one. Slide 15 is on. Important. Okay. Okay, Mr. Master Unknown. Okay. On importance of stock exchange in agriculture, I will explain again. The first one is that it helps to raise capital for the expansion of agro-based industries. If you can remember very well in JSS1, I taught you agro-based industries. And I said they are the companies or the industries that make use of agricultural produce as their raw materials. The major raw materials they use are from the farm. For example, Cadbury and Nestle. Cadbury produces Bonvita, and the major raw material for Bonvita is what? Cocoa beans. So we can call Cadbury now one example of agro-based industry. Like this company that produces Indomie noodles, Dofil, is also an example of agro-based industry. People that repair or that maintain farm machines, they are also examples of agro-based industry. So when you bring stock exchange into agriculture, it's just a way of getting or raising capital, and capital means money, to expand your farm business. Then number two, it gives investors opportunities to invest in agro-based industries. When people know that when they plant crops or they go into farming, they don't they won't waste their resources or waste their money. Once they know that there are ready-made market for their farm produce, they will be encouraged to go into farming. That's the meaning of that point two. Then point three, it encourages contract farming. I said contract farming is a way or is a process whereby some companies that use agric produce as their raw materials give out money to farmers to plant those crops for them. And when they harvest the crops, the farmer will not sell to any other person but bring the farm produce to the companies that have already given them money in form of loan. They sell the raw material to them, and these companies will use them as their own they use them to produce their secondary product. They give out money to farmers to plant raw materials for them. When they harvest, the farmers bring the raw materials to them. Like cocoa beans, when the cocoa farmers harvest, they take them to Cadbury, they take them to Nestle to produce Milo, to produce Bonvita. That's the meaning of contract farming. So when farmers know that there are people that are willing to buy their farm produce, they will be so happy to go into farming business. That's the meaning of the 3 points listed here. Then number 4 of the importance is that it provides employment opportunities for people. When people are well paid, well employed, or they have job, they have business that they are into, their standard of living will be improved, unlike somebody that does not have a job. But when you know that your business is doing well, you will improve your standard of living. So through that contract farming as well, more people will be employed to work on the farm. Either they employ them to clear the farmland, or they employ them to operate tractors or operate some other farm machines. They can employ them to harvest, to process farm produce. These are different ways by which people can be gainfully employed on the farm. Then the last one is that it ensures increase in food production, as many people will be encouraged to invest in agriculture. So these are the 5 major importance of stock exchange in agriculture. Faisal, you'll be removed.
Where is it? Where is the person?
Should be this one. What's
Like, what is KDJ?
ADJ?
Khadija.
Are you ready for Jumia? Look at this one too. Nasif, are you ready for Jumia?
Okay, you can continue with us.
So, do you now understand the importance of stock exchange in agriculture right now? All right. Okay. Slide 13. This is slide 13. Is this slide 5 again? There's an assignment for you all. You have to list 3 benefits of export promotion to agriculture. This is just to prepare us for the next lesson or the next class. You write the benefit and you submit. 3 benefits of export promotion to agriculture. Slide 15, last slide. Well, that is the last slide. The last slide is on homework. Shakira, this slide 15. The concluding parts of importance of stock exchange in agriculture. So if you have questions, please type in your questions and let me respond. Yes, Tomilola, you have to send the assignment to the email the school gave you already. Don't submit in school unknown. You submit you send the assignment to the email the school had given you. Please, what's the email? Somebody, yes, somebody is asking. GS3. Right. Okay, Ramos, I will send the email address to you.
ogunjs3@ntic.edu.ng.
Okay. Ogun. JS. GS or GSS?
Double S.
Okay. At
ntic.edu.ng.
Okay. All small letter.
Yes.
At ntic.edu.ng. Okay.
Wait. Send to all.
So Ramos, that's the email ad. You send in your homework or assignment to that email address, ogunjss3@ntic.edu.ng. Tamara, I will snap and send. Tamara, don't snap and send. How? Tamara, please, I don't understand.
Snap after writing it.
Okay.
You can snap and send it. Yes, you can.
Okay. Tamara, you can snap and send. Should we snap our notes? How can you snap your notes? Slide 1, 2, and 3, please. Okay. GR, this slide 1, the topic, agriculture in stock exchange. Then this slide 2, if I get what you mean. Hold on. Other assignment. All right, okay. Professor. Slide 5. Okay. Slide 5 is on. Shakira. Most of your Western language here. Oh no. Go to slide 2. Okay. Haruna, this slide 2. Why you any this unknown?
Yeah. Where is it? Okay. Unknown.
All right. Slide 13. Okay, let's just do it this way. Let me start from slide 6. Slide 6 is the picture of cotton plant. Slide 7 is the picture of cocoa beans and cocoa farmers. Same thing, slide 8. Slide 9, kola nut. Slide 10, picture of a forest. Slide 11, picture of men walking in the forest. Slide 12, cocoa beans. Then slide 13, people involved in stock exchange. Okay, should I change the slide now? Okay. Slide 5. Folarin, where are you now? Slide 13 or slide 14? 13. Okay. So 13 is on now. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that means I should go to slide 14, right? Razak, slide 14 is on now. Okay. Should I change the slide?
Yeah.
I'm
If you
waiting.
are true,
I'm waiting for